Okay, folks, Wednesday, the 14th of September, 2022, and what a day of selling we had yesterday. Um, Largely what we were kind of looking at as the outlier scenario that the CPIs would come in hot. We had handsomely priced in a soft reading. We got a hot reading, and we came down one of the largest selling days of the year for the US equities picture. Oil also kind of getting dragged into the mud as well. So let's get over and have a look at these charts here and see what was going on yesterday. So we'll look at the SPOOs, the S&P 500 for those who do not refer to the SPOOs as the SPOOs. So yeah, what we had here is really climbing from last Thursday up into the highs here. Coincidentally, we kind of just around the highs of the 1st of August, and just when we came to the open, and then just hammered all the way down. So this is the daily bar. Now we are kind of still within this compression trend, um, from the lows of the year to the lows of the 14th of July, and finding supports on this area here. Can we lift back up? I think we can actually. Data to come out of the US today, PPIs, and of course the DOE, but that's not really going to be relevant to the S&P 500. I think we can retrace a wee bit of this before then, potentially breaking down on this compression area here. So, looking at this in a little more detail, what was going on, just seeing in here, back to say Wednesday, Thursday, or Tuesday, Wednesday of last week, bid up, looking towards, Mester had said that they were going to be heavily looking at yesterday's CPIs for, what their kind of forward outlook is going to be on their inflation campaign or their rate rise campaign. And sure enough, came in hot against expectations. Down we go. Came down to some pretty significant areas in and around, the 30s here, and also down as to what I thought would have been the lows of day at around half four there. Nice little bid to be taken, but not really getting a decent trade as it closed well down into the lows there. So chart calculator on. We look at the breadth from the high to the low of yesterday. We were looking at something like 5.6% is the breadth on the day from the top to the bottom. So can we retrace a wee bit on this? Absolutely. I think we can, just get back on average pricing now. When we were on the way up through 2020 and 2021, we were buying any dips in Europe, and selling down in the US session, and there's a certain pitter patter to that going on now as we're kind of looking to come back down. So, so let's see what we can get. But I think a bit of retracing today. We have seen an attempt at heavy selling earlier on equities. So yeah, look, Nasdaq is up 0.8, SPOO's 0.7, Dow 0.5, and I think we can tack on a clean percentile bounce until we get into the European or the US session. On oil, really nice area here that we have in a big green spot, so we know what to do with it. Yesterday did get sold down quite heavily with a very strong dollar, very very strong dollar. Of course, we'll look at that in a second. But then bid lovely little long here to be had this morning on PVAL, and up we go. So I think we can probably break out to 88.34s today on oil. I don't know if things are going to get crazy to the upside. We just don't really have the environment for that on oil. Participation is still really just anemic on oil. So looking at the dollar, of course, we kind of came down to this compression area, but getting sold off, inverse to the equities, getting sold down on the Dixie. The market expecting soft CPIs yesterday, and it was hot CPIs, hot as you like, and up here to this Fib level 109s. Now I did say yesterday this was not, it's not really an area to take a trade off of. It's just really a temperature check, see how we're doing on this, Fib area. But yeah, up through there into the close on the Dixie. So just taking a wee bit of heat out of that now, down 0.4%. But I think targets on the bounce here for the Dixie will be up just below R1 here. So targeting in around 111s. And, RIP the euro. So What else can we look at? Cable, yeah, pretty steady, but dismal data out of the UK this morning. I think really we don't need to comment on the pound too much, but one spot 14's generally a support area here. So that's it. And then Bitcoin, a couple of commentators, one of which Tyler Winklevoss, saying that essentially, and I laugh because it's the expected rhetoric out of the Winklevoss in that even though Bitcoin got the shit sold out of it yesterday, Tyler seems to say, well, because Bitcoin went down on that stronger dollar, the market's not ready. Yeah, well, no shit, Tyler. A strong dollar is going to rip the face off of Bitcoin, and it did. And to kind of talk about anything else happening is just trying to talk your book. And look, I think it's tough times for the crypto zealots at the moment. So yeah, look, 20 or 20,220 holding the line on Bitcoin at the moment. Ethereum, we were looking at Ethereum on the CME as well. Over yesterday, just briefly, just automatic this chart here. Look, I think there's a bit of a morning flag breakdown, or sorry, a morning trend sort of breakdown. These are daily bars here, so there's a bit of a trend to break actually at about the 1 or 1500 level on Ethereum, and I think more downside should be priced in. I would keep an eye on a move down to this area though, 1255s from trade in June. So that's Ethereum, and yeah, I mean, look, not much more to say. Definitely going to be watching these PPIs out of the US at half 1. I think it might be a case of if they come in hot, probably going to get, the market will buy it because, it's pretty much priced in that the inflation is definitely not transitory. All right, we're going to leave it there. Listen, have a great session, and I will talk to you soon. Cheers.